Hey there, it's Brock Tozer hanging out with Greg Sykes. We're at the Christian radio conference called Momentum in beautiful Orlando. The Canadians have all found each other. We've been hanging out with the caller quite a bit over the last couple of days. You're Canadian, of course, as well. In fact, let's talk about that because you grew up in Windsor. And what was your life like growing up in Windsor?
It was good, very good. Grew up in Windsor, border to Detroit. I played a lot of hockey. Had no interest in music until I was about 14. And for years, my mom had dragged me to church, Catholic church with her, sitting in the choir behind her as she rehearsed. And she'd record her harmony parts on her tape player and then go home and vacuum and listen to her harmony parts back. And so that's how I learned harmony, sort of by accident. But then when I was 16, my mom bought me a guitar. And I took a few lessons to learn the Green Day and Nirvana songs I wanted to learn, just enough to try to impress the girls in my class, and it didn't work. But I learned the basics of guitar, and then so that was actually, it was great growing up in Windsor. And then when I was 20, had this amazing encounter with God, watching a Michael W. Smith DVD, and the way he led worship and the way he communicated God's love for us, it literally changed my life. And so then I quit playing hockey and really said, I want to do music and try to use it to serve people and try to serve God. And so plugged into a church, and I've been leading worship ever since.
So at one point, did you want to go pro with hockey? I feel like that's underneath what you're saying, like you Absolutely. Really wanted to play.
I did. And I have a relative who we grew up, he's a year younger than me, but he was so good, we always played in the same league together. And when we were 15, my dad said, hey, Kyle and you, we're going to take you guys across North America, all over the U.S., to all the best Russian skating camps. If you want to go, we'll pay for it. And I was like, I don't know, there's this music thing, I want to take guitar lessons. And so anyway, I chose not to go. Well, Kyle ended up getting drafted to the Maple Leafs, Kyle Wellwood, and he ended up playing for a number of years in the NHL, and he just retired. And now my career in music's just getting started. So I kind of went, I wonder if I should have played hockey and then jumped into music. But anyway, grateful.
Now, the last I heard, you were kind of toggling your time between Nashville or St. Catharines, right?
Right.
Are you still doing that?
Yes, yes, sir.
That's nuts.
It's, you know what? We feel so fortunate. We have a little home in Canada, like our actual home, and we have a little home in Franklin, Tennessee. And our kids have bunk beds in Nashville and their own rooms in Canada. And so we just bounce back and forth when I'm writing and recording and, doing worship conferences or visiting churches. And so we've got our visa where we can bounce back and forth now from Canada to the U.S. We're grateful for the relationship that exists between Canada and the U.S. But Canada is home.
So you're not leaving your family behind and going away for a few months and coming back. You guys are all going every time.
Yeah, not every time. If I'm going away for a night or two, I'll bring a travel buddy, guitarist, we'll head out. But if it's for longer than a few days, I do whatever I can to bring my whole family so we can do this together. So our kids are half in school, private Christian school. And then when we're on the road, my wife homeschools them.
Awesome. Good to chat with you, Greg.
Good to chat with you guys. Thank you.